This lesson deals with the surface area and volume of spheres. We're going to start with surface area, the formula of which is 4 pi r squared. All you have to be able to do in the quizzes and tests is use the formula. So let's say we have a beach ball has a diameter of 3 feet, and I want to know how much plastic sheeting would need to make the beach ball. So we write the formula down, 4 pi r squared. We know the radius is 1.5. Square it, multiply by 4, multiply by pi. You're looking at about 28.26 square feet. Pause the video here and see if you can find the surface area of these two spheres. Remember, you need the radius for this formula, so if the diameter is 20, radius is going to be 10. On the other one, the radius would be what, 9? Alright, here's a challenge. See if you can find the surface area of this hemisphere in terms of radius r. Obviously, the surface area of entire sphere is going to be 4 pi r squared. So the top half of the hemisphere is going to be half of that. It's going to be 2 pi r squared. But don't forget, you've also got the base. The base is exposed. That's going to be another pi r squared. So the entire surface area of that hemisphere is 3 pi r squared. Now I want you to click on the link in the upper right hand corner. Remember to pause this video first. Pause this video, click the link in the upper right hand corner to see an explanation of the formula surface area equals 4 pi r squared. It's quite an involved little proof. It takes about 10 minutes to watch, but I think you'll be able to follow the logic of the proof because you definitely understand all the things that go into the proof. Now we're going to move on to finding the volume of a sphere. It's kind of got a weird formula. The volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. All you have to be able to do is remember the formula and be able to use it. So here's an example. If you knew the radius was 3, you could enter this in the calculator by doing 27 divided by 3. That would be 9. 9 times 4 is 36, so this is going to end up being 36 pi. You could also do cross-canceling, a lot of ways to figure this out. So pause the video here and see if you can find the volume of these two spheres. So 4,000 pi over 3 would be the exact answer, and here's a good estimate. Remember, 9 is your radius. So here's an interesting comparison. Let's say I have a cone with a radius r, and a hemisphere with a radius r, and a cylinder with a radius r. What we're going to do is compare the volumes of these three. They would all have the same height r. I'm going to say that the height of the cone is r. The hemisphere would definitely have a height of r. And we're going to say the height of the cylinder is r as well. So using the formulas for cone, 1/3 base area times altitude, you get 1/3 pi r cubed. If you do the same with a hemisphere, you're doing half the formula for a sphere. So that's going to end up being 2/3 pi r cubed. And the cylinder will be just base area times altitude, which is pi r squared times r, or pi r cubed. So the cone is the basis for comparison. A hemisphere is going to be worth 2 cones, and the cylinder is going to be worth 3 cones. That's kind of interesting. So in a related fact, Archimedes of Syracuse, you remember he's the one that was killed by the Roman soldier and said, "Please don't disturb my circles." I don't know if he said please actually, but don't disturb my circles, and then the Roman soldier killed him. Well, Archimedes considered his greatest mathematical achievement was discovering that the ratio of the surface area of a cylinder to a sphere was 3:2. Not only is the ratio of the surface area 3:2, but the ratio of the volume is also 3:2. So that's kind of a related fact to the cone thing I was showing you earlier. In fact, he thought it was so great that he wanted it etched into his tombstone. You're going to want to use your scientific calculator for this one. I want you to estimate the volume of the Earth in cubic miles. The radius is about 4,000 miles, so this is going to be quite huge. 4,000 cubed. It's going to be you're going to have to do it in scientific notation. Then multiply that by 4, divide by 3, and then estimate it by multiplying by 3.14. 2.68 times 10 to the 11th cubic miles. Okay, let's pause the video here and see if you can find the surface area of this composite figure. So working from the top down, I'm going to start by finding the surface area of the hemisphere. So that would be half of 4 pi r squared, since 4 pi r squared is the surface area of an entire sphere. A lateral area of the cylinder, remember, is pi dh. And then the base of the cylinder is just a circle, so pi r squared. We'll substitute our values in. We know that 5 is the radius of a hemisphere. That means the height of the hemisphere is also going to be 5. We do some simple substitution, and we come up with a value of 155 pi, which is approximately 486.95 square units. Okay, and one more proof. I promise this one's a short one. It's only 4 minutes long, and it's also really interesting. The derivation of the volume of a sphere formula. You're going to see how they get this crazy 4/3 pi r cubed. And no lesson would be complete without the mistake of the day. I hope all is going well with you and your families. Me and my family are doing great. I hope this is working for you. If it's not, send me an email, and I'll see if there's some other way I can try to explain these concepts to you.